I want to share with you a couple things that, again, questions that have come up. We have a principal in Boise, Idaho, who I think was the first person I saw who thought, you know what, if we're going to do this, everybody needs to know what it is. Everybody needs to know what learning walks are. So I want to show you a video that she shows to her kids at the beginning of the school year. When she was first the principal of South Junior High, she showed everybody. The next year, she just showed incoming 6th graders. It's also online, so parents can see it on their website. Your students may talk to you about learning walks. This is what this looks like. I want to show you the video that Betty shows because I think it just speaks to, yeah, this should be fun. She's going to ask the questions, maybe not using these words about what are you doing. She's going to ask questions about what are you learning by doing that. She's going to ask the next question of why do you need to learn this? Who would use this? Where is this important in life? And again, if I'm in 7th grade, 10th grade, 1st grade, I may not know what life is yet. But do I have a way to see it? So I want you to look and listen for the questions she asks, but know that she will not follow the script because she's going to stay with Jaden, the student she's talking to. She may be all over this. She may ask questions specific to an engaging quality. She may ask something specific to critical thinking. She may ask something specific to citizenship, depending upon what's happening. She stays responsive to the students in the process. So here is Betty Hoogland and Jaden. So I'm curious, how many of you, when you were listening to that, are already going, I just heard an engaging quality. I'm wondering about the cognition, because immediately we should start to put things together. We're going to take a break in 10 minutes, but before we go on, I'm going to skip this video. I'm going to ask you to do this. What do you think about the idea of sharing the protocol with students? I'm amazed at how often as professionals we have professional development without children present. Can you imagine a surgeon learning their skills without a cadaver or a patient? And now, as teachers, we need live children in the work. But we should be transparent. Kids should know what we're talking about. The language of C5W should become the language of instruction. This is a critical thinking moment, which means you will find something that is true. It's a personal response moment, so you may find a truth that somebody else did not find. When you share with your learning with others, I want you to come to consensus and prioritize by evaluating all the responses. That language should be a part of what we're doing. Second piece is, before we take the break, I want us to go ahead and do analysis of what we just heard Jaden say. So I'm going to go back and let's use the C5W form, if you will. Does Jaden know what she's doing? Yep, and she's done, doesn't she? She knows what she's doing. What about learning? She knows she's learning facts about Jupiter. What about relevance? I'm not sure I heard relevance. This is the moment where we might have to articulate, what are we calling relevance? I don't know if Betty asked the question of relevance. I can safely say doing and learning is there. Now I'm going to jump to cognition, critical thinking. What was Jaden's thought that was hers? I don't know if you saw it. Being able to tan might be a moment of a thought. This is a tough one because when I look at this, since I didn't hear the kids as they were thinking, it's already done. Since I didn't hear kids thinking, I don't know if it was a moment of analysis. I heard her say it was all about the facts. So I'm not sure if it's anything other than accepted knowledge about the planet put onto a poster. I'm going to actually default. If I have to use the metric, I'm going to say, I think that's a level 2. I think by saying, since it's so close to the sun and it's so hot you can tan, that's a comprehension piece that shows understanding of what close to the sun and hot means. It's not her thought yet. Does that make sense? So I would be circling recall, understand, procedures. That's where I think she is. That's where I think the task asked her to go. Again, that's not a negative. That's just what I think we are. That's where we are. What engaging qualities did you hear? I am going to ask you to talk about that at the table. Did you hear any engaging qualities in that work? Because Jaden said she liked it. And I have 5 other videos of kids who don't look like Jaden who you would think, oh, I bet he doesn't like it. Who liked it? Why are they liking it? Would you want to do this task? How many would want to do the task? How many wouldn't want to do the task? Then see, I bet there are some engaging qualities, but I don't know how they're adding up yet. So just run through the list of engaging qualities and tell me what you think we just saw. I would almost encourage you, walk with nothing in your hand the first couple of times you do it, just to get in the classrooms. Here's what's going to happen though, for kids and for teachers. When an adult has walked into the classroom in the past, it meant something. It always meant somebody's looking at somebody. I might be here because, oh, we've got a kid over there. I think that's the behavioral specialist. He's probably watching Darren. Or I have walked into schools when they don't tell kids I'm coming, and I'm the first person who's ever done this, and kids say, what do you want? What do you want? Why are you here? I'm just looking at learning. Really? No, who are you? It's interesting because I've been doing this long enough that in kindergarten I have heard this. Are you Bill Clinton? No, no. But I've also heard, are you George Bush? Okay, I kind of got both of those, but for a while I also got, are you Barack Obama? And now I'm getting, are you Donald Trump? No, I'm not. I'm not. I have some big hair, but no. What I learned from that is kids think a tie means president. They haven't had enough people in their classroom to look at learning yet. So they think somebody is coming in who's really important. No, when I come in, you're important. That's why I'm here. Because this is my chance to not have the burden of having to manage the circus. I get to just come in and watch the acts. It's about me. So when my colleague says, so what do you think about what you saw? Thank you. No, really, what did you see and what do you think? I'm saying thank you because I got to see kids and talk to kids about their learning when I didn't plan it. I didn't have the burden of monitoring it. I just got to think, what's the value of that task? And please hear that again. What is the value of the task? I'm not saying, does that task have a value? What is the value of that task? A professional educator planned it for kids. I don't know the whole content and curriculum scope and sequence and the intent. I'm trusting the system. I'm trusting my colleague that what she did or what he did has meaning. My job is to see if I can find it so I can see how quickly I can use the components of making meaning back in my own shower, if you will, when I'm planning the next piece. Donna? Where's Donna? I have to tell you, we bonded when you're up there. Just because the language that I heard was the language that I know kids value more when you were talking about the plan. And I love that you didn't know if it would work, but you trusted the kids. Where's my foreign language teacher? I lost her. Yeah, same thing. You said something really important. Do you know what I know? Kids will think better when they think they're helping us. When we ask a question, most of the time, kids know the reason we're asking the question to see if they know it. If we ask a question like, I don't know, and they'll say, really, you don't? Then they'll help me. So when I walk into a classroom, now I have this added benefit when I'm in a school, people don't know what I do. So if we're in a science class and somebody says, we're doing this science experiment, I say, so what are you learning by doing that? Well, we're learning about isotopes. Well, what is an isotope? Well, aren't you a science teacher? No, I'm not. I mean, I lie to them. Because when I act ignorant, they help me. And sometimes I'm acting ignorant, and sometimes I'm not acting. And I like when the kids don't know which it is. So one of the things we get out of this process, forget the metric, forget us moving our practice, is immediately students start to see, the guy from the science wing was here in language arts today. He cares about my learning in language arts? Really? One of the things that I know happens when a school starts doing this process of just walking, forget the metric, just walking, discipline referrals go down. Because I don't belong to those 5 teachers, it seems like I belong to more now. And the ownership of my community gets bigger and maybe safer. And I'm okay when a kid says, I don't know why we're doing this. I said, really? No, I don't know why we're doing this at all. Well, I don't either because I don't teach this. I'm sure there's a reason for this. I mean, my job is not to say, oh my gosh, you have a bad teacher. No, because I have taught class 3 days in a row and then asked kids why they were doing something. I don't know. Really? Did you not see the first 5 minutes when I was dancing up there? And so one of the things I know is there are people in the room who are saying, well, if this relevance thing is more important, I should start my lesson by, here's why you're learning this. Here's where you will learn this. I said the first day, you can't give people relevance. They might repeat your thoughts. I know this. If I ask a couple of kids, why are you learning this? And they say, well, because someday I might want to, blah, 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 blah. And if they say the same blah, 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 that's not theirs. Relevance crosses over.